All right, let's go. Times may be a little tough right now, but luckily for me, I just got my x-rays back, and it is confirmed that I am in fact an XRP holder. It is a little strange that XRP at 260 a few months ago looked like this, while XRP at 260 today looks more like this. So while it may feel like things never seem to go your way, and by now we all know that getting involved with trading cryptocurrency is a surefire way to inflict yourself with
emotional damage,
we still suck it up, smiling and putting on a happy face when friends and family call to check on us. We tell them everything is amazing and the next pump is going to take us to Valhalla. Just remember, things could always be worse. You could be one of the Krasensen twins needing to pee in a public bathroom that's made for big boys. Cause let's be real, there's only three things that we all want: a massive, life-changing generational bottom, some steak nuggets from Arby's, and for the conversation at the dinner table to shift over to currency debasement. So we got a lot to talk about in this video. From what my celebration looked like when my 0-5 fantasy football team got its first win, but only because the other guy is going through a messy divorce right now and not checking his lineups, to what it feels like to get sombreroed. And from the best moving VP we've ever had in JD Just Dance Vance, to my favorite Mr. Rogers episode of all time.
Hi neighbor, I brought something new to share with you today. My M249 SAW. Listen to this. Pew, 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 rat-tat-tat-tat. Isn't that something?
You know I'm always here to answer all of the toughest questions. Like, is this a compromise that you can learn to live with? How do Kash Patel and JD Vance have time to announce the baseball playoffs on Fox? What type of equipment would even be necessary to take JB Pritzker into custody? Is there anything besides a pull sign on a door that would be able to stop these two? Why does Debbie Wasserman Schultz always look like she's been huffing on Eric Swalwell's farts? In 2023, Prime Beverage sold $1.3 billion in product. It's on pace to sell $300 million in 2025. Does that make it subprime? Am I the only one that still has nightmares that this guy was almost the vice president of the United States? What would be the best book title for the new Joe Biden memoir? Does anyone wonder what Gary Gensler's been up to lately? And maybe most importantly of all, is anyone curious what our elected officials are up to during the ongoing government shutdown?
What have you been up to during the shutdown? Are you keeping busy with hobbies, work, etc.?
Señor, I tried going back to El bartending, but I forgot how to make El mojitos, so I decided to go back to El stripping. They always need a big booty Latina in El strip club, so I still getting dollars shaking my big booty, señor. Muchas gracias.
All right, let's talk some financial news, and we'll start right here with BlackRock's $12 trillion man on the role of crypto.
You have to always relook at your assumptions. There is a role for crypto in the same way there's a role for gold. For those looking to diversify, this is not a bad asset.
And this is pretty interesting. World's largest custodian bank, BNY Mellon, is exploring allowing tokenized deposits and blockchain payments. Of course, this becomes even more relevant when we remember this information from back in July.
Ripple announcing just moments ago that it's partnering with BNY for BNY to be its primary custodian for its stablecoin. Joining us first on CNBC, Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse. Why BNY?
Well, look, I think as the crypto industry has emerged from kind of the last administration where the industry was being attacked, working with the most trusted, the most, well-regulated, and even the best capitalized partners is a way to continue to build trust in this system. And stablecoins at their core, by their nature, it's, a dollar backed with a dollar in deposits. BNY Mellon has, for a very long time been amongst the most trusted partners out there for as a custody bank. So we're really pleased. We think it's indicative of the shift of tide where we've had headwinds for this industry are now becoming tailwinds, and I think we're going to see a lot of growth.
It's happening right now. It's happening to banking, and it's happening with Ripple. Blockchain, crypto, customers and suppliers are paying with it and making real-time settlements around the world. So it's happening to bonds, currency, markets, almost anything. Because if change is happening in finance, then it's happening everywhere. And it's happening with Ripple.
Here is Cardano Chuck with some crypto price predictions for the end of this year.
I think after the Clarity Act passes, and there's a good chance that's going to pass in October, there's a really good possibility that we're going to see the altcoins pump. So Bitcoin will probably cap around 250, and then you'll see a lot of stuff work its way into the altcoin space with people looking for alpha. So I wouldn't be surprised first quarter of 2026 and second quarter of 2026 where it kind of really on the ascendancy, and then it'll kind of taper off and die down if it follows prior bull markets that we've had. But this is a different one because institutions are leading it, not retail investors. And so I've never experienced this in my career because every other one was a retail-led bull market. But overall, everybody's very optimistic. U.S. government's optimistic. I was just at a Senate roundtable with a bunch of people, and everybody's working as one voice to try to get clarity passed. And once that's done, there's no more Gary Gensler, no more SEC burning us all to death. The U.S. government's open for business. Just insane.
And this is pretty wild. Did Milton Friedman actually predict Bitcoin back in 1999?
I think that the internet is going to be one of the major forces for reducing the role of government. The one thing that's missing, but that will soon be developed, is a reliable e-cash, a method whereby on the internet you can transfer funds from A to B without A knowing B or B knowing A. The way in which I can take a $20 bill and hand it over to you, and there's no record of where it came from. And you may get that without knowing who I am. That kind of thing will develop on the internet, and that will make it even easier for people to use the internet.
And you got to check this out real quick, because Dogecoin just entered its next era, and this time it's going public. This is the House of Doge, the official corporate arm of the Dogecoin Foundation, and they've just been listed on the NASDAQ stock exchange under the ticker symbol TBH. And I want to thank them for sponsoring this video. But this isn't just a meme stock moment, it's a mainstream finance moment. House of Doge is backed by Citadel and Pantera and partners with Robinhood and 21 Shares to build the real infrastructure behind Dogecoin payments, yield products, and even ETFs. Leading the charge is Marco Margiotta, a payment exec who sold his last company to Fiserv for $270 million, now steering Dogecoin into global payments, sports, retail, and campus partnerships. While CleanCore handles the treasury side, already managing over 710 million Doge, House of Doge is building the engine, payment rails, merchant integrations, and yield-generating products that turn Dogecoin from culture into infrastructure. This is the House of Doge, ticker symbol TBH, where the Doge movement grows up without selling out. Links below to check out House of Doge and do your own research. All right, let's get to some of the other top headlines, and we'll start right here with one of the last national treasures that this country has, regardless of how tall he is.
Like he is angry about the fact that he's 4'10", and he looks like he is so mad that he is 4'10", that he's taking that anger out at any other population possible. Like, laugh at them. Laugh at them.
Well, we knew that her brain didn't work. Now we know their eyes don't work. So I mean, she is a mess, right? What a train wreck. What a train wreck. I think the important point is that every time she's on TV, Republican approval ratings go up, Democrat approval ratings go down. That lady is a walking nightmare.
Members of the Texas National Guard have arrived in Illinois. There is video of them arriving at the Army Reserve training facility in a Chicago suburb. People are referring to them as Call of Foodie Snack Ops Edition. According to the prediction market Kalshi, Trump is as likely to become president in 2028 as AOC, despite being constitutionally ineligible. 1 year ago, Oprah declared women will lose their right to vote if Trump wins.
If we don't show up tomorrow, it is entirely possible that we will not have the opportunity to ever cast a ballot again.
If anyone has an update on that, can you please let me know down in the comment section. Here's a few seconds of French President Emmanuel Macron as he gets absolutely dominated in a handshake with President Trump. He should think about resigning from office in the same way that he bowed out from Trump's grip. Try not to lose any sleep over this one. IRS to furlough nearly half of its workforce as part of ongoing government shutdown.
And I have a prediction that Marco will go down, I mean this, as the greatest Secretary of State in the history of the United States. I believe that.
If we take a look at this on Polymarket, there's only about a 5 to 6% chance that the Federal Reserve won't reduce interest rates again when they meet October 29th, with the odds showing a strong possibility of another quarter-point reduction. And this is something I'm pretty sure you won't see anywhere else, a video with the Queen discussing one of her deepest loves.
It brings me such joy, simply to observe a fine sausage. Some admire art, others nature. For me, nothing compares to a well-kept sausage.
So you know I'll be watching, and I'll keep you updated with any new information. Far be it from me to tell anyone how to identify, but it seems like Richard may have been a better choice here. No matter what anyone says, just know that the finance Fedfold is very real and very dangerous. The best way to tell if an AI video was created by a liberal is that it will be as poor quality as it is not funny.
Easy, sir. Keep your hands back.
I didn't do anything.
Okay.
I was just visiting a friend. Jeff invited me. That's all.
We'll talk about it downtown. Step to the car for me.
It was
Watch
just
your
a
head.
little get
Let it
together.
slide in.
You guys don't understand.
This is not to be missed. Coming soon to TLC, AOC's 600-pound life.
Things were good. Things were real good before Trump. Now, I eat in front of people on the internet for money. I left Washington behind. And now I make almost $50 to even $75 a day. Again, all I have to do is eat this different stuff that people want to see. It's usually food and not even garbage or dirty diapers.
And some wise words from the boss on Columbus Day.
This is your favorite president, or as they call me, Chief Golden Eagle, and I wanted to wish you a very happy Columbus Day. I knew Christopher Columbus very well. He was a great friend of mine. I called him Chris, and he did a tremendous job. But the radical left-wing crazy Democrats want to call it Indigenous Peoples Day, and I get along very well with the indigenous people. They love me. They call me Chief Golden Eagle. They say, Chief, what are we going to do about these crazy radical left-wing Democrats like Lion Liz Warren? I call her Pocahontas. Chief Spitting Bull. She's a horrible person and a loser, and the only woman who has ever failed a DNA test. Nobody ever thought that was possible, but she failed a DNA test. What a disgrace.
And if you have a couple more minutes, you may have missed my last video where we talk about some crypto shits and giggles, and of course, some more truth talk not designed to invite hate, but instead to promote thought and question so that maybe we can start to understand each other a little better. Until the next time, be safe.